Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Premier Wrestling Alliance. My name is Aaron Hurt, joined this week by one half of the tag team champions, Outlaw Tony James. Now, we will see yourself and your partner, franchise player Chris Cruit, tonight in the main event. On last week's episode, we saw Forte-Rico emerge as the #1 contenders, and tonight we're going to see how all of that went down. But we've also got a lot more great action for the fans tonight, so why don't you tell them about what else is coming up on tonight's broadcast?
We got some great action there, Anchorman. We've got this guy named Mongo going after Wicked Will. And it's a tough task for Wicked Will, but he don't care. And then you got the Buckeye Kid taking on Jason Andrews from Gas City, the Gas Palace. He's got a lot of gas, and he's going to show it tonight.
Well, fans, we're not going to waste any more time, so get ready for some Premier Wrestling Alliance.
PWA, baby.
All right, PWA fans, Aaron Hurt and Tony James here, ready to take a look at a big match here. Wicked Will and a man only known as Mongo. Now, we've seen Mongo a couple of times. Have you had a chance to scout this guy or develop any kind of opinion of his abilities yet, Tony?
The only thing I have on him is Battle Royal action. So I know he's really good in a large group of people. So on paper, he should be whooping Wicked Will right now, but we'll wait and see.
Yes, indeed. Well, now, Wicked Will has been kind of a hard luck case. The Lancaster native, was at one point in 2017 surrounded by many other members of the so-called Sims family. But now he is essentially flying solo, and it seems to have affected, his win-loss record to the negative. How is Wicked Will going to get on top of this big guy here in this match here? We see him nail a big clothesline. That's one way to start. But, I'm assuming that Will's going to have to stay on his bike and be mobile and agile and try and blow this guy up.
Yeah, you're right. He's a lone wolf right now that can't hunt. So he's got to find out a way to beat this big man and get out of here with a quick victory. The longer it goes, even though Mongo's a big man and you would think he'd be low on gas, in Will's case, he's got to beat him quick.
Absolutely, and he's got to avoid the big power moves. He's got to not be caught in something that is going to knock him out or knock him down for a particular length of time. Obviously, count of three is all it takes here in the PWA, but the thing that I think the consensus opinion on Wicked Will is that he's got the tools. He's just not able to put it all together yet. Do you think that, maybe he is the kind of guy that needs a manager or something or somebody at his side, or is he going to be able to pull this together? Does he have the cognitive abilities?
Well, you're right. He needs some guidance because right here he's stalling outside, which could be a good tactic. But see, now Mongo's going out after him, and you don't want to be caught outside with a big man. You got to get it in the ring, and you got to get the match over quick. And look at him now; he's dancing outside with the big man, trying to pull off big man moves.
Oh, but he did get that was definitely a feat of strength. Will doesn't obviously have the most impressive physique, not to disparage the man, but he made good use of what he's working with there and staying on top of Mongo here, but. I want to see a little bit more creativity, I want to see a little bit more, outside of the basics here from Wicked Will. I think that's something else that might benefit him, is just training under different conditions,
Well, what you got here going on here, you're 2-3 minutes into the match, and he's trying to do big man moves to a big man. He's going to run himself out of gas. Just like you said before, he hit him with that big move. Well, you know what? Even the sun shines on a dog's butt once in a while. Eventually, like you said, you got to get down to the nitty-gritty, and you got to beat him with something. Well, you got a nice elbow drop there. You going to follow it up with a pin?
Absolutely. That's what we're talking about. Floats over with the cover, and well said, Mr. James. I knew that there was a reason why I had you here this week instead of your partner. Only kidding. But no, it is certainly a thrill to get your expertise and your professional opinion on this action here. And yeah, Will looks like he's still trying to figure out his game plan. I mean, that's what you got to do. And this is as basic as it gets in pro wrestling strategy. Ground the big guy with a chin lock, keep him down, catch your wind, figure out what you're doing next. But he just decided to go straight to the eyes there.
Yep. Well, he's leaning on him, trying to wear him out and take his breath from him. But once again, the size disadvantage is still in Mongo's favor. There you go. You got to get up top. See? Well, we'll see what he does here on the second rope.
Oh, got caught. I mean, I could see what he had in mind there, but just took a little bit too long. And now we're seeing the advantage that Mongo brings to this. A couple of nice elbows there to the trapezius to break the grip. Will staggers back in the corner with nowhere else to go. Oh, able to reverse the momentum there. Took him face first into the turnbuckle. That can't feel good, Tony, I'm imagining.
No, it didn't help the looks, but, Mongo has his own look anyway. There we got a nice drop kick. Now he's starting to take him down brick by brick, but he's got to get to a cover.
And this is sort of what I was trying to allude to earlier, is that the daredevil side of Wicked Will needs to come out. And I think we saw him with more confidence when he felt like he had somebody watching his back. Just a 2 count there. And like you said earlier, a lateral press, somebody the size of Will on somebody the size of Mongo is not going to be effective, especially if it's after something like an eye rake or even a big high-impact move like a drop kick. He's got to string 3 or 4 of them together and really get this guy down to have any hope of making that lateral press worth, a 3 count. But Mongo opening up here in the corner with some closed fists. Now, at this point, as we said, we're about 5 minutes into this match. Oh, big discus clothesline. That's something we haven't seen from Mongo.
I think he's frustrated. I think you got a headbutt, you got a huge clothesline. I think Mongo's getting frustrated because he feels he should be putting this boy away a couple minutes ago. To your point about the daredevil aspect of Wicked Will, you live by the sword, you die by the sword. He gets a little too crazy, it could come back and bite him later.
That's certainly true, and risk management is something that's not just it's something you hear about in business courses. You've got to be very mindful of just what opening you give your opponent in any situation.
Big power move.
Yeah, I mean, able to get him up, able to plant him with the backbreaker. He's following up there, looks like a chicken wing, turns it into a lateral press pinning combination there. But a little bit close to the ropes. But yeah, I see that he's grasping at straws practically, trying to find something that'll work instead of being sure that this is what I got to do to put this man down.
He's lucky Mongo isn't an angry man.
Yeah, well, and Mongo is fairly new to at least the PWA ring wars here, and so we know that he's somebody that a lot of the fans are behind, at least more so than they are Wicked Will, just on the surface, but. The winner of this match is going to propel himself up the rankings for sure. And, we've still got a lot of people gunning for that U.S. title held by the Razorback at this point, a title you have held quite proudly in your tenure here at PWA. But if you think that, one of these guys is going to be coming down the pike, what are you scouting in this match that's going to be in the back of your mind should you come across?
Well, I'm going to let Wicked Will get all crazy on me, and then I'm going to let him burn himself out, and then I'm going to beat him. Now, Mongo, he's a big man, and he's got a few tools there in the toolbox. He's got the chop, he's got the headbutt, but he looks like you can frustrate him easy. And so I want to get in his head and walk around a little bit to see if I can mess up some furniture. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, a guy that calls himself Mongo, that might be kind of a lonely place.
Exactly. And Will, though, hasn't gotten his head yet, and that's the problem.
No, I think Will is too far into his own head, and to make a long story short, but he is able to connect with that big elbow after finding the back door there. Irish whip, reversal, ducks the clothesline, back the other way. But he got caught. One arm from the big man. Now this could be very near the end of Wicked Will's night. Hoists him up, fireman's carry, Ushigoroshi, that neck breaker, dropping him down on the knee from that fireman's carry position, and I think that Mongo's looking to put him away. Oh man, running knee strike, looked like he caught flush right there, possibly right on the bridge of the nose even. And like you said about Mongo, Wicked Will doesn't make his livings on that 8x10 mugshot either.
Exactly right. This would have been something Mongo should have went to earlier in the match match to put Wicked Will away.
Yeah, I think that, quite honestly, Will has made a statement simply by persevering as long as he has. A full Nelson into the slam.
There you go.
That's got to be it. Ladies and gentlemen, your winner by pinfall, Mongo! Official announcement, Mongo is your winner, and we're definitely going to be looking for him to do more of the same the next time he turns up in PWA. Hello, PWA fans. My name is Aaron Hurt, here to tell you all about how you can keep up with PWA online. Just search PWA Ohio on Facebook or on YouTube, or check out PWAOhio.com for all of the latest information about upcoming events, the latest videos and highlights of past events, and interviews with your favorite PWA wrestlers. So make sure that you like and follow all of those pages. That's PWAOhio.com, PWA Ohio on Facebook, and PWA Ohio on YouTube. And follow along with all of us here from Premier Wrestling Alliance, and we hope to see you at the PWA Arena very soon. Fans, I was able to catch up with a newcomer here to the PWA, a man with just a few matches under his belt, but a big opportunity here tonight, the one and only Jason Andrews. What are your thoughts going into this big match against the Buckeye Kid here tonight in the PWA Arena?
Well, I got to say, I'm just really excited to be here, really excited to perform for the great fans here in Lancaster, Ohio. And Buckeye Kid, he's a tough guy, but, I'm really looking forward to getting in the squared circle with him again.
Well, I know that I speak for all of the fans here in that we cannot wait to see this great action here later tonight. So best of luck to you, Mr. Andrews, and perhaps we'll talk to you later and see how things went. All right. You see Jason Andrews in the ring already. We heard some comments from him just a short while ago. This scarlet and gray fella is the Buckeye Kid, naturally. What do you think about the Buckeye Kid? I mean, he's obviously one of the more popular attractions here in the PWA, but he's not just surface. He's got some substance to his wrestling game, if I do say so myself, Mr. James.
No, I agree. He came out on fire. He puts a string of wins together, and he always seems to be adapting his style. That's what makes him hard to wrestle, because you don't know which one you're going to get.
That is very true, and he advanced all the way to the finals of the U.S. title tournament back towards the tail end of 2017, and gave the eventual winner, the Razorback JT Hogg, quite the run for his money and the title in that case. So we'll see what Jason Andrews is going to be able to do in this match. He seemed to be very straightforward with me, wanting to do this one by the book. But I don't know if that's going to be enough. I really have to be made into a believer about Jason Andrews. I guess seeing is believing.
Well, I'll tell you what, just because you put a cat in the oven doesn't make it a biscuit. So Jason here from San Diego is going to have to put up or shut up, and he better focus on the Buckeye Kid, because he will beat you quick.
That is definitely true. And yes, Mr. Andrews quite proud of his heritage as well, coming from the San Diego area, as he insists that I specify the gas lamp district. Not quite sure where that is, but it must be nice if you believe Mr. Andrews' version of events. Now, a little bit of mind games here, it looks like, or just uncertainty, stalling.
Well, Jason might be one of those wily guys. See, he rolled him up quick, so he was feeling him out, trying to feint him one way and pull him the next. Buckeye Kid, you would think he'd be smart enough not to fall for that. Let's see if he can do it again.
The circle here. Both men very tentative in the early going. A quick go behind into the leg sweep. Not able to get a significant cover there. Get Buckeye Kid's shoulders pinned for more than looks like a 1 count. We got senior referee Johnny Long in charge of this match. I expect this to be much more high-flying and grappling-based than last match that we watched. Wouldn't you think so, Tony?
Yeah, I agree. And those first couple moves there that Jason Andrews used, they're not necessary. That's a good Northern Lights there. they're not necessarily use the pin, but to get in the head of the Buckeye Kid. He's basically telling him, I can take you down anytime I want to.
Yeah, and that Northern Light suplex was executed quite well, and Mr. Andrews might be making me eat my words about needing to, see what proof there is in the pudding, because if he can get the Buckeye Kid up and over like that, then, he's definitely got a lot of potential. But right now, he's on the bad end of a full arm drag and twist from the Buckeye Kid. Shoots him off the ropes here. What's he got in mind? Oh, reversal. Up and over.
Oh, hey, we got a little matrix going on there.
Nice
Joey.
bridge there.
Wonder if he took the red pill or the blue pill.
I don't know. We'll have to get those test results after this broadcast, I guess. But not quite as skillful on that second attempt, but still quite proud of himself.
Yeah, he's going to the well one too many times. There you go.
There you see what it got. I mean, Buckeye Kid may be young chronologically, but he's developing experience in the ring at a rapid pace, at least from my vantage point, having seen what this young man has been able to do. And now he's just foregone, all formalities and hauling away with punches to the gut.
That's right. He's hitting them in the boiler where it counts. Andrews is off his game a little bit, and you can tell he's a little disheveled, and he's getting wild and just taking shots. And, of course, the Buckeye Kid's just sidestepping him and working him over.
Well, apparently trying to make his way to the safety of the ropes. Not quite enough, but good awareness there, being able to drop down and bring the throat of... Well, don't know what to say about that. That certainly stopped me in my tracks. But he put a stop to the Buckeye Kid and was out there trying on some new hats, apparently. I guess we've made...
No, he was British.
PWA's got its own version of Hat Guy. So I guess that's progress for us. But in any case, back to what we have in the ring here. Jason Andrews finally realizing what he needs to be paying attention to.
Exactly. Taking control now. There you go. Hey, I'm all for a little foot in the throat if we can get you over. You got a 5 count.
Absolutely, and that is something that he has to his advantage in this case. A height, quite long-legged individual, able to, make effective use of a maneuver like that.
That's right. Use it, don't abuse it. And Johnny Long there, he lets you get away with a little much more than you can. He's got that long count, no pun intended.
But Buckeye Kid picking up the pace here. Couple of big clotheslines in the corner, followed up with a snap suplex. What's he got in mind here? Oh, got him tied up in the corner. This does not bode well for Mr. Andrews. Nowhere to go.
That's right. What comes around goes around. Just there shortly, Andrews had the foot in the throat in the other corner. Now it looks like... Yep, we went for a 40-yard field goal there, didn't we?
Yeah, well, indeed we did. It is Golden Globe season. It is playoff season. Refer to that however you wish, but it definitely, I'm sure it restructured the social calendar for Mr. Andrews following this match. But nonetheless, he's, with the aid of the ropes at least, back to his feet. Buckeye Kid needs to take advantage of this here. Oh my goodness. What awareness. He caught him out of midair. Just ducked under that leapfrog, caught him with an ankle lock dead center of the ring. That's quite impressive, Mr. James.
That's what I'm talking about. He's been working him all match just to get to that point, and Andrews let his guard down, thought he was going to catch him off guard with a leapfrog. Look what the Buckeye Kid does.
One step ahead of him, yeah. The only thing that saved him was being able to crawl to the ropes. And Buckeye Kid right back on top of his opponent, Jason Andrews here. Back heel trip.
And now he's going to work the leg.
A smart move, especially after picking out that body part. And, maybe he's just decided that he's going to keep this man on the mat and not give him any opportunity to pull out some sort of high-flying last-ditch maneuver here.
Well, now what Buckeye Kid's doing here is he's, when you're in a tag match, you cut the ring in half. When you got an opponent who's got long limbs, you put him on the ground and you cut him in half. And that's what he's trying to do here.
Yeah, and that is what you need to do to be successful here in the PWA. You cannot be lackadaisical about your fundamentals in any regard. Buckeye Kid just taking Mr. Andrews for a walk there, but Andrews fights back, knees to the short ribs there, looking for an abdominal stretch.
He doesn't have the heel hook.
No, he not proper technique on this, not nearly as effective as it could be if he were to have stepped through, and put more pressure on the abdomen there.
Well, now see what he's got. He's going to make up for it by grabbing that top rope. You got to give the man credit. He knows what he's doing.
Well, there's a certain perspective that if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying, if I may use the vernacular in this case. But Buckeye Kid just takes him over with that big hip toss and works his way out of that predicament quite easily. What we got here?
Showing a little power.
Oh my, big boot right to the jaw.
Wow, we got a give and take here. Everybody's throwing the rule book out. They're throwing the kitchen sink.
Yeah,
we got a foot on the rope. These two men are decided to kick it up a notch right in the middle of the match. We've probably gone, what, 5-6 minutes already?
Yeah, certainly well into things here. And, yeah, it appeared that Andrews was able to avoid that kick and turned it into an offensive maneuver of his own. Action moving so fast here, it's hard for me to keep up. That's why I got my buddy Tony here helping me out. But, yeah, this is just that's not going to put the Buckeye Kid away. That's just proverbial insult to injury. Once he got in mind here, and this could be very effective. I don't know if he'll be able to.
Well, don't think about it. You can see.
Yeah.
He thought about it, and look what happened. He got caught on the wrong end of a bad idea.
Again, Buckeye Kid proving that he is well ahead of the game plan of Jason Andrews in every regard here, able to land on his feet, connect with an enziguri that looked to be right behind the ear, which is right where you want to put it. Slugging it out here, center of the ring. We could be coming down to the nitty-gritty, if you will, here in this. It looks like Buckeye Kid's had enough of the antics of Jason Andrews. Gut wrench. Display.
Again, the man showing some power. Somebody slips up, makes a mistake, though. They both look gassed. It only takes one slip up, and it's over. 1, 2, 3.
No, it can happen just that quickly, no matter what the last 5-6 minutes of the match looked like for you. Oh, sunset flip. Holding onto the ropes, though. Referee does not see the hands. Now he catches Jason Andrews trying to take advantage of that extra leverage, but Buckeye Kid able to roll him up. Your winner by pinfall, the Buckeye Kid!
Once again, he got caught looking and not thinking, and that's what happens when you're not into it.
Well, I hope that he takes the defeat with the same attitude that he had going into this as being a sportsman and wanting to give a good show to the fans and be a competitor because he's got nothing to be ashamed of. He certainly went toe-to-toe with the Buckeye Kid like few we have seen, but I know he's disappointed that he is not getting the winner's share of the purse tonight. There you see the look of disillusionment on the face of young Mr. Andrews. Going to have to maybe take a bus back to San Diego. I don't know if he'll be able to afford those first-class accommodations.
Well, it looks like they're going to shake it out. Oh, you know what?
Perhaps we spoke too soon there.
He got caught in the back door. You got to watch those things. That's why I like to get out of the ring, win, lose, or draw. Get in, get out, get your work done.
Well,
otherwise, stuff like this happens.
Yeah, I mean, Buckeye Kid gets the win, but unfortunately, not the one on his feet at the moment because, Jason Andrews apparently made a liar out of himself. Hello, wrestling fans. My name is Aaron Hurt, here to tell you about the next time Premier Wrestling Alliance will be in action. Lancaster, Ohio, 737 Slocum Avenue, February the 3rd. It is the PWA Arena, and tickets are available right now at pwaohio.com. Also, check out PWA Ohio on YouTube and on Facebook to find out the latest announced matches and see exclusive interviews and all of the details about this event and the rest of PWA's exciting calendar in 2018. Nick Stevens, I find you and the Razorback JT Hogg here lurking about at the PWA Arena quite unexpectedly. I know enough not to expect a straight answer from you, but why don't you try to explain what it is you're doing here tonight?
You see, Mr. Hurt, my Razorback is the PWA United States Champion. Why wouldn't he be here tonight?
Well, one reason I can think of is that the PWA matchmaker specifically excluded you two from tonight's event to prevent something from happening like what we saw happen to Wicked Will, what we've seen happen to so many other people since you and this man have joined forces. So, I mean, at this point, what do you expect to happen? Are you just going to wait to get thrown out of the building? Are you going to bum rush the show? What is your plan?
You see, my monster, the Razorback JT Hogg, your PWA United States champion. He deserves a match. He wants more victims. And if the PWA won't give us what we want, then what's going to stop us?
Well, you're not going to get very far negotiating with me, so I'll just leave you to take up your dispute with other interested parties. Thank you for your time. All right, wrestling fans, we are moving right along here on Premier Wrestling Alliance. Tony James, we've seen a lot of great action so far. We saw Wicked Will come up short yet again in a very hard-fought match. What do you think Wicked Will needs to do to get back on the right track here in 2018?
Well, I'll tell you what, I thought he gave a little bit more than I thought he was going to give. He's going to need some guidance of some kind. I don't know where he's going to get it, and I don't know if he cares or not. But I will tell you this, he needs a little guidance.
We also saw one Jason Andrews. You saw his comments before the match, and his attitude once things got going seemed to betray what he said to me. What are your thoughts on Jason Andrews and his conduct?
Yeah, I don't know if he's playing hide the weasel or what, but I will tell you this. He must be running for mayor for San Diego because he always seems to say the right things when he needs to, and then, of course, that kick in the belly. Well, I don't know where that came from. He's not going to get many votes.
Well, all that we have left is tonight's main event, and Champ, I know that you are just chomping at the bit for all of the fans to get a look at this action, so why don't we go ahead and go right to it. It is the tag team titles on the line. Yourself, the Outlaw Tony James, franchise player Chris Cruit defending the PWA tag team titles against Forte-Rico.
That's right. We've got the gold.
All right, main event time here on this week for PWA Online. We have got a huge tag team title match. Champions franchise player Chris Cruit, Outlaw Tony James defending against Forte-Rico, Jeremy Rodriguez in the red boots, Tommy Forte with the blue design on his tights. And these two teams faced each other very recently in a 2 out of 3 falls match, and Forte-Rico were able to catch the second fall in that match, and I know that's something that neither team has forgotten about. Definitely something that Forte-Rico able to use to build a little bit of confidence and perhaps find the edge that will get them the tag team titles this time around. Starting out with Forte and Cruit here. As I said, these teams are no strangers to each other. Cruit looking for the test of strength here. Mr. Forte slightly reluctant, seeking some advice from his partner here. Rodriguez confident in his partner's chances here. They tie up, Greco-Roman knuckle lock. Neither man able to get an advantage so far, but Forte now able to bring Cruit down, not just to one knee, but both knees. I was just that quickly able to get back to his feet. Breaks it. Takes Forte into the corner. Very deliberate strategy here in the early going. Collar and elbow tie up, quickly into the side headlock. This match is not going to end quickly, I would assume. It's going to take quite a bit to wear a man down to the point that he can be pinned. And as I say that, Cruit goes for a cover, but he knows that that's just simply a way to make Mr. Forte exert the energy required to kick out. Good exchange there to Tony James coming off the second rope with that axe handle blow. The thing that has made these two men, speaking of Cruit and James, so successful as champions is their ability to game plan and work as a team. Know when to cut the ring off, when to make a tag. You saw Cruit almost go for a blind tag there, but realized that Tony James has this well in hand. Follows up that elbow. Now makes the exchange. Cruit in off the second rope with an axe handle, big high impact blow of his own. And now abdominal stretch right where he can make Mr. Forte's partner get a good look at the agony he is currently experiencing. Oh, hip toss. Takes Cruit over. I think Cruit himself might be a little bit surprised by that, and Forte smartly follows up a couple of boots. Big display of strength here, scooping a slam. Almost casually done by Tommy Forte. And now Jeremy Rodriguez enters the match for the first time here. Some double team action from the challengers. Assisted suplex there, but not enough to even get a count from the referee. But Rodriguez clamps on that rear chin lock, keeps keeps Cruit away from his partner. Unable to make a tag. This is exactly why these two newcomers here, who have become quite well established actually in their short time as a team, speaking of Forte-Rico, how they were able to catch a fall on the champs like I had mentioned previously. But right back on the offense, Jeremy Rodriguez there, whip across, leg sweep, takes Cruit down, follows him up, follows up with the cover, but too close to the ropes. That experience, that veteran ring awareness on full display there from Chris Cruit. And again, Tommy Forte follows up with a move, but he did not pull his opponent any further away from those ropes. He did hook the far leg, but you've got to get him in the center of the ring. Tony James doing everything he can to rally his partner and the fans as well. Cruit able to work his way out of that armbar, but full arm drag and twist clamped on by Tommy Forte there. Smart strategy though to isolate a body part. Oh, but Cruit able to quickly turn the tables. Going to work on the elbow in his own right. A great follow-up there. Would have been a great time for a short arm scissors or something like that, but instead he just drives the knee right into that elbow. Could very easily dislocate it, at the very least make it difficult for Tommy Forte to use that power and strength that he's going to need to have the edge in this match.
No, he said no. Come on, Tommy.
Quite well contested. I'd say fairly even so far. We're only a few minutes into this match, and we know that it is far from over. Now Tony James looking to keep up the momentum for his team. Drop down. Oh, drop kick right to the sternum. Frog splash there of sorts. Hooks the leg, only able to get a 2 count though. Tommy Forte, as resilient as he is tough. And honestly, I think the fans are somewhat torn between the two teams here, as both Cruit and Tony James have found themselves on the wrong side of the fans' opinions at many points of their career. As they sit right now, the fans have definitely come to respect them for what they have done as tag team champions, but Forte-Rico, simply a sensation as far as the fans are concerned here. Perhaps the biggest reason that they've been able to build enough momentum to get to the top of the tag team rankings. But an increasingly desperate Tommy Forte here, just trying to get some separation from Tony James and find a way to make a tag. And not successful as of yet. Oh, but that big forearm shot might just do the trick. Instead of going to make the tag, he makes the cover, and Cruit, smartly seizing an opportunity, distracts the referee just long enough to prevent that from paying off for Tommy Forte. Now he makes the exchange. Jeremy Rodriguez perhaps getting a little bit lonely on the outside there for as long as he's been kept at bay. Traps the arm of Tony James. Going to work here. I can definitely see the game plan in perhaps trying to keep their opponents on the ground, but this is not the wheelhouse of Jeremy Rodriguez specifically. His greatest chance of success is to increase the pace, make this a fast break type of match, make this a high-flying match, and get Tony James off balance, metaphorically speaking. Because when you let Tony control the pace and control the agenda, you are fighting an uphill battle. Especially when he's got Chris Cruit right there to relieve him as necessary. Vertical suplex, got all of that. You can see the disorientation on the face of Jeremy Rodriguez as he favoring his lower back. And that can very quickly immobilize somebody. I speak from experience. Although, thankfully, not the kind of experience these men are getting at the moment. Forte, after an opportunity to catch his breath, comes back in with a lot more aggression than he perhaps departed the ring last time. Reversal. Oh, malfunction at the junction there. Tony James went straight into that turnbuckle, but the momentum was such that he rebounded out and collided with Tommy Forte, and we got a double down situation here. I would say the first man that was able to make an exchange would have the upper hand, as this could be the turning point of this match. Nonetheless, great action here in our main event. Very excited to be bringing it to you here. It's what it's all about here at PWA. Jeremy Rodriguez perched. Oh, frog splash from the second rope. And that might have been it if Tony James hadn't been there just in time to break up that cover. Referee losing a little bit of control in this match here. All four men in the ring at this point. And this is where the experience and the continuity of the champions is going to take over. Oh! Tommy Forte took Chris Cruit out of the picture, but Tony James able to connect, and that is it. Ladies and gentlemen, your winners and still the PWA Tag Team Champions, Tony James and Chris Cruit. What a great match. Take nothing away from the challengers in this regard, but not enough on this night to walk out with the tag team titles, as they will remain around the waist of Chris Cruit and Tony James. But I know I can speak for them when they say they have nothing but the utmost respect for the match that they were given by their opponents here. But that will do it for PWA this week. Thank you, fans. We're going to come right back and wrap up tonight's show here just after this. Well, fans, we don't need elaborate hyperbole to describe the action in that main event. Tony James, very successful defense there, but I have to say Forte-Rico, those two guys are definitely not slouches. Do you have any postscript for the fans after what we saw?
Well, I'll tell you what, Tommy Two-Tone, the big one, he seems to have his act together. He seems to know what he's doing. Now, Rico, we used his speed against him. And if they could just tune that a little bit, they could be big-time contenders. But I think it's about time the tag team champs move on to the next group, if you know what I'm saying.
Well, all right. Well, next week, Tony, we have got another huge main event. The PWA heavyweight title on the line in a triple threat match. The One True Superstar Chris Payne defends against the Irish Hitman Lafferty and Jimmy Fahrenheit. Who, in your opinion, has the edge? Who's going to come out champion in this one?
Well, I have to tell you this. I may not like the man, but Chris Payne has got the other two playing his game, and they are totally off their own. And just by that, that's why he's the champ. So we'll see if it turns out that way.
Well, there you heard it, fans. Come back next time to see triple threat action for the PWA heavyweight title on Premier Wrestling Alliance Online.